Good evening and welcome. I'm Selena Mead with the Vsb Tv 11 Evening News on this Thursday, August the 14th. In our top story tonight, they may not have talked to the trees, but today members of the Corporation of Hamilton agreed that those 50-year-old French oaks on Ewing Street will be spared the guillotine and will stay put where they are. During a testy press conference that indicated members of the city are at variance on the trees issue, the Mayor Graham Otterbridge and Alderman Lawrence Scott were on this occasion in accord.
I have been brought to this decision by the weight of my full council saying that basically this is too important to be silly about trees. People have an affection for them. Let's listen to them. There are also some people that basically we should also listen to too, that we're for them to go. So I think that basically when we go through the next process, we should go back and talk to everybody on Ewing Street and get their full input and basically have the understanding at the moment that the trees are staying.
I've not always been adidem with my colleagues in this council, and I'm happy to be adidem with them on this issue. That's not important. I think the decision was right for us to reconsider. What I'd like to say is to all the very important people who did the real work, these gentlemen behind me. I see Ms. Ann Hine over there. Who else do I see? Sherma, of course. Sherma, of course, who put her life at risk. Those are the people who I think make the difference in this. You will appreciate that this is still not settled. But going forward, I can support this decision.
In agreement with the decision was Ewing Street resident Sherma Simmons, mother of Alderman Coltrane Simmons.
I just want to say to everybody, I hope that you do make these changes. I hope that you come together as a group of people and work as a team, because I'm not trying to divide anybody. It was just a course that I believed in, and when I believe in something, I stand up for it, and that's what people should do, period. And I want to thank you for allowing us to get our trees back. And I really appreciate that.
Thank you, sure.
But we got what we decided to be doing to do, and we don't have to go to court now.
In a sequel to last Monday's stabbing incident in Pembroke, which led to the victim being flown overseas with life-threatening wounds, a Pembroke man has been charged with attempting to murder his stepfather. In Magistrates Court this morning, Garth Bell, age 39 of Crossland Lane, was charged with attempting to kill Herbie Spencer, his stepfather, at the family house. As the charge is indictable, there was no plea required. The two men were allegedly involved in an argument during which Mr. Bell attacked Mr. Spencer with a weapon, leaving him with severe injuries. The alleged culprit is said to have fled the scene on a motorcycle. Prosecutor Larissa Burgess said that Mr. Spencer and Mr. Bell lived in the same home where the offense took place. Magistrate Kamisi Tocumbo released the defendant on $15,000 bail, and he is required to report to Hamilton Police Station every Tuesday and Thursday, find alternative living arrangements, have no contact with the victim, and surrender all travel documents. He will return to court on August the 28th. While the loss of 9 lives already this year to road accidents is a major social disaster for the community, the real damage in terms of family tragedy, plus millions of dollars in health care, insurance fees, and ruined lives, lies in a second statistic, the number of people seriously injured, which so far this year has reached 80, an unprecedented figure for the first 7 months. And as Police Inspector Robert Cardwell says today, it is nothing short of carnage.
Today I joined the Bermuda Police Service partner, the Bermuda Road Safety Council, to once again bring to your attention some alarming data that is being gathered as a result of what can only be described as carnage on our roads. To date, we have recorded 9 road traffic fatalities. In comparison, there were 9 in total in 2013 and 9 in total in 2012. As we still have 5 months left of 2014, the number of road traffic-related fatalities suffered already is of serious concern. In total, there have been 848 collisions on the roads in Bermuda so far in 2014. This includes, in addition to the 9 road traffic fatalities, there have been 80 collisions involving serious injury. These people have been seriously affected with life-changing injury, in some cases that include disability and years of rehabilitation in others. Serious injury is a classification given where a victim has suffered a brain injury, paralysis, broken limbs, and/or admission to the King Edward Memorial Hospital Intensive Care Unit. Driving or riding whilst impaired in a manner that is dangerous or without due care and attention are decision-based. Bad decisions are too frequently being made by road users, and the consequences are very serious. There is an increased disregard for the national speed limit, for traffic signs, red lights, and the requirement to use turn signals. Every road user, whether as a motorist, a bicyclist, or a pedestrian, has a responsibility to obey the law and use the roads in a responsible way. The Bermuda Police Service will continue to enforce traffic laws. Speed detection devices are regularly being deployed island-wide, and numerous motorists are being placed before the courts for speeding offences. The frequency of detecting speeding motorists in the 65 km to 85 km per hour range continues to increase. As we have said before, enforcement alone is not going to reverse the current culture of bad driving behaviour. Raising awareness and having a conversation about driving and riding will.
He further provided some of the statistics that the police and the Road Safety Council are studying in search of clues to the alarming situation.
The largest age bracket represented in the serious injury collisions is the 26 to 35-year-olds. We are calling this the testosterone group. This is also the hardest group to reach and get the message to about road safety. 83% of serious injury collisions involve Bermudians. 81% are male, and 68% were black. Over the 4-day Cup Match holiday, we told you that there had been a total of 24 collisions resulting in 4 persons being left with serious injury. One of those, unfortunately, later succumbed to his injuries and passed away.
The opposition's Shadow Tourism Minister Zane De Silva has attempted to link the reluctance of the Marshall family to leave their Grand Atlantic apartment and government's various offers to persuade them to leave with the Tuckertown land deals of 100 years ago, stating that we should learn from the cruelty of the past and seek a better way. Mr. De Silva claims the family is being deprived and forced to give up all that they have worked so hard to achieve, and that the OBA is reverting to the tactics of those who displaced Bermudians so others could profit. This move is a monumental step backwards that Bermudians must oppose, says Mr. De Silva. The Marshalls have so far turned down 3 options, one of which is to be paid $200,000 more than their purchase price. The 100th anniversary of World War I was commemorated around the world and in Bermuda. Charles Webb was at the City Hall service and files this report.
The start of hostilities of World War I were brought into bold relief today with prayers, poetry, and a touching last post as Bermuda remembered their own and others who gave their lives. Lillian Levon, believed to be the last widow of a Bermuda War veteran, Joseph William Levon, a member of the Royal Garrison Artillery, was given a bouquet of flowers. She is 97 years old. 2 old soldiers, Don Jolliffe and Canon Thomas Nesbitt, voiced their sentiments.
I served as a conscript in the Korean War and then into the war in Egypt in the Canal Zone. This was in the 50s when the Korean War took off, and then it lasted 3 years. And I was shipped over to Benghazi, to Libya. This ceremony meant to me, looking back at some of my old comrades, and it brought tears to my eyes. I thought it was very, very well done.
I always look forward to this ceremony in thanksgiving for those who wanted to live but went out to death. And even though their remains are lying underground, they will never die, and we should not allow them to die. And for the contribution that we make each day for the betterment of a world for which they fought and for which they died, it will be enough for us to do.
I'm personally hoping for sunny skies. Let's check in with Shay with the weather preview.
Hey, Selena, thanks very much. Let's take a look at the Doppler radar. Well, as you can see, big surprise, more rain coming your way. Is it going to go all the way to the weekend? I hope not. We'll have more coming up later.
The weather radar picture provided courtesy of the Ministry of Transport on Vsb Tv 11.
Save $1.70 on a value pack of fresh Purdue chicken wings, just $2.99 per pound. Imported vine on tomatoes, $2.99 per pound. $3.39 for a 12-ounce tin of Libby's corned beef. All varieties of 6-ounce tubs of low yogurt, only $1.09. A full roll of Scott Extra Soft toilet tissue, just $3.29. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m., Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us. Do you know your rights as a consumer? Visit the Consumer Affairs website to find out how to hire a contractor, how to buy and maintain your vehicle, information on buying secondhand goods, tips for seniors and teens, personal finance tips, product recall information, to file a complaint with Consumer Affairs. For the latest consumer news and much more, visit ca.gov.bm.
Copyfax is Samsung's authorized dealer service center in Bermuda. If you're looking for a tablet, Copyfax have a range of Samsung's Tab 3, 5 and 7. They have Samsung's ATIV Book, which has a 15.6-inch screen. And the ATIV One computer has a 24-inch touch screen. Be sure you're buying from an authorized Samsung dealer. In Bermuda, it's Copyfax Limited, 96 North Shore Road. They service what they sell.
And welcome back to Vsb TV 11. Tourism Minister Sean Rockwell is optimistic about Bermuda's future hotel development, both in construction and in renovations. He gives us this brief progress report.
For the St. George's project, as you know, I announced back in Parliament that we have entered into an exclusivity period with them so we can negotiate the agreement and the lease and things of that nature, and that will go until October of this year. So the discussions have been very positive. Obviously, the developer will be making significant investment into the jurisdiction, and so they have some concerns they want to have addressed, and we have to make sure that we are also doing what's best for Bermuda. As you know, Pink Beach has already started, so we're very excited about bringing that iconic property back online. There's a buzz around aerial sands, and we're waiting for Michael Douglas to come out with an announcement, which we expect to happen before the end of the summer.
But has he submitted any plans yet?
We've seen plans. The government has met with him, and we've seen what he intends to do there, and I can say that it's very exciting. It's going to be a wonderful upgrade to what's been there. And again, that's another iconic property that we would love to get back online. And I was hoping to have heard some good news about Newstead. I don't want to preempt what that good news is going to be, but there should be some good news as it relates to that property as well. Morgan's Point will feature very prominently if the America's Cup does come to Bermuda. By being the last two, that we will get some races here, so we will benefit from the America's Cup no matter what happens, but obviously we want to be the chosen destination, and it appears as if the America's Cup organizers, because the race will be in the Great Sound, see Morgan's Point as a very strategic location. So that would be a wonderful achievement for Bermuda, and would be very useful for that development.
The absence of cruise ships in both Hamilton and St. George's is also very high on the minister's radar screen.
I'll actually be meeting with some cruise lines next month to still explore the possibility of getting smaller ships into Hamilton and St. George's. We need to certainly get more activity in our capital as well as down in St. George's. So we are still looking for those options. We're still considering other options and how we can get larger ships into those areas. But we are somewhat optimistic that we may be able to get more frequent calls into those ports.
Now, we all know and love Johnny Barnes, but I'm actually referring to the Irish colt that was purchased by the Bermuda Thoroughbred Racing Syndicate, who was affectionately named after the 91-year-old early morning greeter of Bermuda. has won his first race at the Yarmouth Race Course in the UK. The colt, who has now been joined by a second Irish horse named Horseshoe Bay, beat out 5 other horses in the maiden stakes yesterday, ridden by jockey William Buick, who was slightly injured in a fall at the same course the day before while riding another horse. The Bermuda Syndicate has been put together by Bermudian businessman Simon Scuppum, who earlier this year presented the real Johnny Barnes with a photo of the horse. The King Airport Water Shuttle, that is the name of the proposed business plan that won 14-year-old Elise McCarron and 13-year-old Logan Henschke first place at the Youth Entrepreneurship Initiative's 2014 Biz Camp. 26 Bermudian teenagers took 7 days out of their summer break to learn about opportunity recognition and marketing, in addition to various other entrepreneurial skills. Nicholas Kemp, chair of the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation, who led the judging for the 2 sessions of Biz Camp, stated, "I was impressed with the quality of the presentations this year. The costs were well researched and the revenue projections were firmly based in reality. I look forward to these talented youth developing their businesses into profitable enterprises." Catching up with the winning duo, Vsb asked Ms. McCarron about her experience at Biz Camp.
For the first couple days we didn't really understand anything, but through the days it got easier and better.
What would you say is one of the most important things that you've learned with your time at Biz Camp?
How to work with numbers so we can do how much it starts up cost and how much it costs to do everything else in the business.
And what would you say was the hardest part about Biz Camp?
Paying attention all the time.
What do you see for yourself in the future as far as your project and the ferry shuttle from the airport?
Well, we want to get a boat and start up the business so we can get it running.
2014 winner Logan Henschke on his business idea and his time at Biz Camp.
I went to Biz Camp and we just doing a boat shuttle from the airport to Hamilton. So when people come in, they don't have to wait for taxis or pay that expensive price.
And how did you find your time at Biz Camp? What would you say stuck out the most to you?
It was good, and Joe Mahoney, just him talking about what we have to do and everything, yeah, it was good.
Now here's a look at the daily markets presented by Bias.
Here are the daily markets presented by Bias. Global equity markets edged higher on Thursday after Russia's president sounded a conciliatory note over the crisis in the Ukraine, while bond yields in Europe fell to record lows as the Eurozone's recovery stalled in the second quarter. In the U.S., stocks rose, sending the S&P 500 to a 2-week high, as speculation the crisis in Ukraine won't escalate overshadowed weaker than estimated economic employment data. The S&P 500 added 0.43% to 1955 at close of trading in New York, the highest since July 30th. 148,807 shares of Bank of Butterfield traded hands today to close unchanged at $1.99 a share. Also trading was 400 shares of Ascendant and 4,300 shares of Keytech. Ascendant was unchanged, while Keytech lost 3.49% to close at $4.15 a share. UK stocks climbed for a second day after Russian President Vladimir Putin said his country will do all it can to stop the conflict in Ukraine. The FTSE 100 gained 0.43% to 6,685 at the close of trading in London. Hong Kong shares finished lower on Thursday, with investors taking profits on Chinese energy firms and companies that posted strong earnings. The Hang Seng lost 0.36% to close at 24,801 after hitting its highest intraday level since November 2010. The Bovespa rose for the first time in 3 days on speculation the president is more likely to lose her bid for re-election after the death of one of her rivals yesterday. The Bovespa added 0.36% to 55,780 at market close. U.S. Treasury prices rose for a second day as signs of tepid U.S. economic growth and the biggest yield premiums over European debt in more than a decade bolstered demand at the government's $16 billion sale of the securities. The yen weakened versus the dollar amid speculation the crisis in Ukraine and the Middle East have waned, diminishing demand for haven assets. And that was a look at the daily markets presented by Bias. There's more news after this.
5 varieties to choose from. Grape aroma, $2.99 per pound. Save $1.60 on Hormel Deli Sliced Cooked Ham, $2.99 per pound. Start your day with Kellogg's Frosted Flake Cereal, $5.49 for a 15-ounce box. $5.29 for 10 packs, all varieties of high C fruit juices. A cool treat, Turkey Hill Ice Cream, $6.29 for all varieties of 48-ounce tubs. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more super specials.
You can count on us. Update to comfort that's unique to the way you sleep. Update to the latest iComfort sleep system by Serta. Featuring our first memory foam with dual-action gel technology. Designed from the surface to the core for enhanced cooling comfort and individualized support. Update to iComfort.
The iComfort Sleep System by Serta. Available only at Big Savings Zone, Bermuda's exclusive Serta Mattress Gallery.
TNT Productions and DeFrance Broadcasting are proud to present 2 hours of the 2014 Cup Match highlights on Vsb Tv 11 on Tuesday, August 19th, beginning at 8 p.m. Tune in and watch the 2-hour presentation of the best of this year's thrilling match with commentary led by VSB's Voice of Summer, Sean Tucker, without commercial interruptions. That's Tuesday, August 19th at 8 p.m. on Vsb Tv 11. You'll be glad you did.
Let's report with Earl Basin.
Cricket Club have announced their team that will challenge Eastern County Cup holders Cleveland County on Saturday, August 16th at the Seabreeze Oval. Once again, Stephen Otterbridge will lead the team, which features 5 2014 Cup Match players and a Colt. The bowling attack will be led by Kyle Hutzel and Lateef Trott, while the batting will be led by Trey Manders and Terrence Frey. Youngster Jordan Smith will make his debut as a Colt. The 2014 Wednesday night sailing series continued in the Hamilton Harbor with 19 boats going to the start line for race day 14. Nasty Madison was the first boat to cross the line in a time of 1:21.36, and with the correct time of 1:29.01, saw them finish 10th on the night. Next to cross the line was Mayhem, clocking a time of 1:33.30, and with their correct time of 1:27.39, saw them finish 2nd on the night. Frame clocked a corrected time of 1:27.38, which saw them finish 1st on the night, and with a corrected time of 1:27.48, saw Passion finish in 3rd. Smokin' finished 4th on the night with a corrected time of 1:27.52, and Elusive rounded out the top 5 finishers on the night with a corrected time of 1:27.53. Jillian Teixeira continued her preparations for the World Equestrian Games as she continued competing in the Lake Arena International Horse Jumping event in Austria. Competing in the 1.25-meter 6-year-old class, Teixeira and Donata finished tied 30th out of 38 competitors with a time of 89.90, and they had 8 penalty fault points. I'm Earl Baston reporting for VSB Sports.
Hi, I'm Peter Givetti, host of Seasons of Taste. Tune in on Tuesday night during the VSB TV 11 News. I'll be here with Chef Chad Mitchell from Red Steakhouse. He's going to be preparing this beautiful dish of watermelon salad with cucumbers, blueberries and goat cheese, and find out what the Gosling's wine of the week is.
Tuesday during the VSB TV 11 News.
Outlast any storm with the most advanced alkaline battery. This weather segment is brought to you by Duracell Quantum.
Well, I complained there was no rain, and now that problem is solved. I hear Aquaman is actually looking for a new summer home here. I'm Che Barker, and this is your weather. Speaking of aquatic creatures, here's Ariel. This is shot taken by Lisa Whitehead at 6:45 a.m. Paget of South Shore. This is actually the start to what was a interesting day. There was some rain, but there was a lot of sun, and this is a lovely shot. A little bit of chop in the background, but really well done. I guess this was Ariel after it didn't work out and she was turned back into stone. Thanks for Lisa Whitehead for sending this shot in. Our highs and lows for today, well, it was a little toasty. 85 degrees at 2 p.m., 7 a.m. 78 degrees was our low at 3 a.m. Currently, we're looking at 81 degrees, humidity at 85%, winds out of the west at 16 knots, and the barometric pressure is steady at 29.99 inches. Our rainfall so far for August, we have had all of the rain so far for August. All of it in the world. 5.64 inches worth of rain for August in what seems like 2 days. Total for the year, 36.17 inches. You see that we've jumped 2 inches up of the normal of 34.07 we'd have normally seen. Now, take a look at our satellite map. This low pressure area right off to our northeast is going to hold that front to our near north right through tomorrow with a few, and this is great, showers at times and possible thunder on Friday morning. Now, another low is going to expected to develop off the Florida coast late on Friday into the weekend with periods of shower activity. So if you didn't get your tank full, you're looking pretty good. You'll have some thunder, though, even right through until Sunday. In the gateway cities, 88 and mostly sunny in Atlanta, partly cloudy and 75 in Boston. Charlotte, partly cloudy and 86, 72 and mostly cloudy in London. Miami, we've got 92 degrees and mostly cloudy, 77 and partly cloudy in New York. Possible thunderstorms and 93 in Orlando, mostly sunny and 79 in Philadelphia, 72 and sunny in Toronto and Washington, mostly sunny and 81 degrees. For tonight, we're looking at a low of around 74, variable cloudy with a few showers. Winds are going to be out of the west at 12 to 18 knots in the evening, but overnight you'll see them decrease 10 to 15 knots. For tomorrow, look at that, more rain. Sunny breaks, occasional showers, chance of thunder, high of around 84. Winds out of the southwest at 10 to 15 knots. For mariners tonight, there is a small craft warning in effect. Seas inside the reef 1 to 2 feet. Seas outside the reef 4 to 7 feet, and your sea temperature 83 degrees. For tomorrow, there is a thunderstorm advisory in effect. Seas inside the reef 1 to 2 feet. Seas outside 3 to 6 feet. Your low tide will be 6:53 a.m. and your high tide 12:58 p.m. Take a look at our 5-day forecast. Well, it's going to stay pretty consistent. Friday, sunny breaks with an occasional shower. Chance of thunder, high of 84. Saturday, cloudy with a few showers and a developing chance of thunder, high of 83. Sunday, sunny periods, few showers, high of 83. Monday, mix of sun and clouds, 1 or 2, guessed it right, showers, high of 83. And on Tuesday, sunny to partly cloudy, no talk about showers, high of 85. I'd like to thank Jeff Torgerson and the Bermuda Weather Service for all their help. And a special shout out to my girls, my lovely ladies down at the Bermuda Customs at the airport. They always got a big smile for me. Love you guys. Rest of you, here's your bad joke for the night. A horse walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Why the long face?" That's it for me. Have a good night.
Outlast any storm with the most advanced alkaline battery. Today's weather forecast was brought to you by Duracell Quantum.
Welcome to Vsb 1450 AM Gold. Playing the music you'll remember. Join me, Diane Carlson, host of the weekly matinee show on Fridays, starting at 10:30 a.m., and again on Saturdays for the very popular Oldie Goldie show, starting at 7 a.m. on Vsb 1450 AM Gold.
Before we close out this evening, I just want to speak to some comments that were less than favorable towards some of the cut match festivities. But I do want to speak of some good fortune that came my way. I want to take a moment to thank the Good Samaritan who actually turned in my wallet. Everything was intact, and I do believe good fortune does come to those. There are good people out there, and I'm a firm believer in that, so stay encouraged. We do thank you for choosing to spend your evening with us at Vsb TV 11. Good night, Bermuda.
Outfit for Che Barker, provided by Alexander at the English Sports Shop.
Vsb TV 11, Bermuda.